Congratulations, if you tune into this video, you are one of the lucky few people who are going to see two strategies that can make us more successful, okay? Two strategies that I've identified, two different philosophies that can help us achieve success in life, okay? When I talk about success, I'm talking about being victorious. I'm talking about achieving the dreams and goals that we have, the innermost desires, the lifestyle we want, the purpose that we want to fulfill, the things that we want to accomplish in life, okay? The things that are in our spirit that we want to chase, okay? So, before we can talk about strategy, we need to just quick hop in and talk about your why. So, if you want to be successful, if you want to go somewhere in life, you need to figure out the destination, okay? That's pretty simple, just like punching in on a map. I want to go to Florida. Boom, we're gonna figure out that destination before we figure out the route to get there, okay? So, if you need to, you can take a moment and pause the video and just what I would do is write down some goals or just have some things in mind, goals, dreams, ambitions. What kind of lifestyle do I want to have? If time and money were of no object, how would I be living? And maybe we can even just look at the end of 2026 here. What would you like to accomplish, okay? So, once we get clear on that, maybe you're already clear on that, then we can proceed, okay? Now, if you're having trouble figuring out how to figure this out, we eliminate the noise to find and hear the signal, okay? The signal is what our dreams and goals are, okay? But oftentimes in life, we have a bunch of noise, okay? Think about it like this. Somebody's trying to whisper your dreams and goals in your ear, but you have about 100 flies buzzing around your head, and you can't hear what they're saying because you're too focused on like these flies, okay? So think about it like that, all right? So what are these flies? These flies are any sort of distraction. This is a visual representation of distraction, okay? So we need to get rid of the flies before we can hear what that person is saying to us, okay? Because they're noisy and they're irritating and they cause our focus to be on them and not on our dreams and goals, okay? So what these distractions generally are is going to be maybe watching too much TV, maybe Jeffrey Epstein files, maybe it's some problem in the world that has nothing to do with your inner circle, maybe it's a conspiracy theory about aliens, maybe it's talking shit about people, maybe it's gossiping about your neighbor or something like that. Maybe it's being afraid of the government. Maybe it's being insecure about who I am, okay? And all of these kind of thoughts and distractions, maybe it's I'm addicted to drugs and all I keep thinking about is when can I play more video games? When can I gotta go get chopped, okay? So all of these things, these are thoughts that create noise. They're like flies around our heads, okay? They are distractions. Sometimes it's fun to involve ourselves in these distractions, but what they do is they take our focus away from what's really important in life, okay? So how do we do that? We need to just cut ourselves off from those distractions temporarily. Maybe you do it via fasting, maybe a sugar fast where we're just eliminating sugar if that's a big problem, a fast where we're just eliminating all food, a fast from social media, a fast from video games, a fast from dopamine, a fast from TikTok, whatever it is. What we need to do is clear out the distractions so the only thing left that we can hear is the signal, and the signal is our dreams and goals. Okay, so once we've got that, once we are at that point in life and we have figured out our dreams and goals, okay, which may take a few days to do that, which is okay. I totally understand that, to just get some mental clarity. Maybe you need to just go sit on a beach with absolutely nothing. Just sit on the beach for 10 hours straight in a chair looking at the waves with no phone and just let your thoughts run. or think about nothing, and maybe something will come to you, okay? We need to just isolate ourselves from all these distractions. Now, our body is going to not like that, especially if we're used to a lot of dopamine. So it's going to take a little bit to force ourselves to do that, maybe do a meditation retreat or something. But that is how we get to our why. If we don't know what that is, it is eliminating the noise. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to just get to that point. Okay, once we figured out where we need to go, what kind of life, we have two different strategies. Okay, we've got the Eminem / Michelangelo strategy. If you haven't heard of those people, you probably live under a rock. All right, and then we have the Lil Wayne Picasso strategy. Okay, and I'm going to explain both of these strategies. They both lead to success. And you will see that via these figures that they are all relatively successful people. They have all achieved something. They've all achieved some sort of goals and dreams in their life. And they are models that we can look up to and say, that person achieved something. I wonder what they did. Okay? So we've got two strategies. We're going to talk about the Lil Wayne one first because that's where I'm at with my YouTube videos. Okay? So the Lil Wayne Picasso strategy is based on volume, okay? What would fall under this umbrella is working a lot of overtime, calling a lot of people, doing a lot of sales calls. The idea of I can produce more than you quantity-wise, okay? I can create more output than you quantity-wise, and because I have more volume, I have a higher chance of success. So I'm basically, in this specific scenario, I'm creating luck, is the way I would describe that, okay? I'm creating luck, and if you think of it like a lottery ticket of success, okay? I have the ability, if there's, let's just say, 100,000 tickets, 100,000 lottery tickets, I may be able to get 10,000 of them because of the output, okay? If that makes sense. I have a higher chance of success. I have a higher chance of somebody listening to my song. I have a higher chance of somebody watching my video because I have more content available, okay? So I am going from a volume standpoint, okay? Now, there's a trade-off. There's an opportunity cost to each one of these things, and I want you to be aware of that. But this is one thing. We can all agree Lil Wayne is relatively successful. He has about, I don't know, probably a couple 100 million, maybe billions of views on his content, okay? So his focus is volume. It's on ease, okay? So when he makes a song, I just turn the mic on and I'm going to talk about something. It's not overthinking, just doing, okay? We're not going to overthink. We're not going to worry about quality. We're just going to do, okay? And via that, you do get better. So your quality is going to increase over time just from the repetitions, which is a factor in this. And maybe if you suck at something, you need to just put in as many repetitions to just get used to things. Let's just say you want to talk to some ladies and you suck at it. Well, if you just put in some volume, you don't have to be really good at it. If you put in some volume, maybe some females will like you, and maybe you'll just become more comfortable with it and not overthink just because you have the volume, okay? It's almost low effort, and you could argue that it's relying on your own natural talent. So Lil Wayne has natural talent. I think we can agree that he is kind of gifted in a specific area, which all of us are in certain areas. So you're relying on talent instead of focusing on increasing your quality. You're relying on your natural talent and your natural state instead of trying to be the best, okay? My focus, my ladder is leaned up against I have natural talent. I'm just going to let the talent take care of it versus I'm going to let I'm going to create a masterpiece. Okay? It's kind of two separate mindsets. One is let me just ride on the wave of my talent versus let me meticulously create a masterpiece. They're kind of two different mindsets here and they get different results, but they both lead to success, okay? So, in closing, the best way to describe this is we want to create content that is somewhere between a 6 to 8 out of 10 on the quality scale repeatedly. Again and again and again and again and again and again and again, okay? So we're doing like a 6 to 8 out of 10 with like very minimal effort. We're being really good at just turning on our camera just like I'm doing right here, and in one take, we're making a YouTube video. That's why I like this strategy. We're making a YouTube video, no editing. We're just going to talk. It's somewhere between a 6 to 8. Maybe some of you in the comments might think it's a 3 or a 4. That's okay. We're going to get better. But we're going to be able to pump out content repeatedly in a natural state with very little effort. Not being lazy, but because it's something that we have the skill to do and we can just turn on our camera and talk, or we can just turn on the mic and spit some bars. That is the philosophy, okay? Now, on the other hand, we have the Eminem and Michelangelo philosophy, okay? Eminem is more focused on quality, meticulously creating something. If you've ever heard that he studies the dictionary, well, I don't think I ever heard Lil Wayne studying the dictionary, okay? He studied the dictionary, so he has all these words that he has available. He is a mastermind of his craft. It's precision, it's perfection, it's obsession, and we could say the same for Michelangelo. So Michelangelo, in order to get these sculptures cut open and dissected tons of dead bodies, which I unfortunately just found out about, and like felt the muscles, how they moved. I mean, this dude was like insane. But that's how he was able to create these sculptures that were so anatomically accurate, I guess, because he had literally immersed himself in the human form and was able to recreate that, okay? So the Statue of David and I think Hercules and Pieta, whatever that is, all of those different things that he created were because of like an obsession and precision and perfection. And the goal was, with the best of your ability, to create 10 out of 10 every time. Now, here's the thing. If you look at the amount of volume, this is where that opportunity cost comes in. These two created significantly less things, but they were higher quality. They were more remembered. They had a higher success rate. Once again, they actually controlled their own luck to some extent by creating something that was so much better than other things around it, that even though there are thousands of things that they are competing with, they have created something that is maybe what one would call a blue ocean strategy. No one can compete with it because it's just that different. It's that much better, okay? So maybe let's just talk about YouTube videos or songs, okay? So let's do YouTube videos or songs. We could make a masterpiece once a month. We could make a masterpiece YouTube video and make sure the sounds are perfect, the editing is perfect, the lighting is absolutely perfect, everything is perfect every single time. And we could make 12 of those, or we could make 2 YouTube videos a week for the entire year, like what I'm doing right now, 6 to 8 repeatedly, and slowly build a following. Now, what I've noticed is, as far as the way things go, we're doing work consistently here, like boom, 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 release, 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 release. With this one, we may just focus for a couple years on one really good thing, and then release it, and then on to the next thing. So we're hyper-focusing on one thing, and if we want to talk about the results, they both lead to success. That being said, this specific strategy leads to significantly better results. Okay? You don't have to be the best, but if we look at Eminem's net worth and his views and the way society views him, he is twice as successful, twice as accomplished as Lil Wayne is, okay? Twice as accomplished. So, that's one thing. That's going to give us the best result, okay? The Eminem Michelangelo strategy, okay? By immersing ourselves in our craft, being obsessed with it, and creating very few things that we think are masterpieces, okay? I'm going to have to shift to this mindset at some point. There are certain things that I am in this camp on. There are other things I'm in this camp on, okay? And the reality is you can pick and choose your battles. Maybe you're on your YouTube videos, you just want to come on and start talking. Maybe it's good for your habits like me. Now I have a habit of being able to do this, and it just helps me become better as a person. But then maybe I start a TikTok channel or something and hone in on creating like psychologically perfect, videos that hold your attention. Every little sound, every little visual is designed to captivate your attention. Okay? And that could be one thing. For me personally, if you don't know me, I actually prefer just being authentic and real and just being myself, because I like to demonstrate, hey, it's okay to look homeless when you're making a YouTube video. It's okay to not be perfect. It is okay to make mistakes and say the word It's okay to do all of those things. It's okay to make a video with bad lighting, okay? So, I want to encourage you guys with that, okay? I want to take people who want to do something with their life and give them encouragement, give them direction, give them hope and a future via displaying that you don't have to be perfect to get started, okay? We can upgrade as we go. We can change our philosophy as we go. But we have to start somewhere. We have to start somewhere, okay? And having the courage to start when it's amateur hour showing up is what's going to help us become an expert someday, okay? So if you have any dreams or goals, let's go ahead and let's just make some progress towards it. It can look messy. We can just pump out some volume. Maybe we need to overcome the fear of failure, overcome the fear of what other people think. Maybe we need to pump some volume just to get going, all right? But ultimately, what's going to lead you to the highest of high returns is going to be focusing on quality eventually. So finding something to focus on that is quality, all right? So that's my take on this. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. I hope you were able to see that each camp is valid and you can do each camp. Both will lead to a relative level of success. Both will help you get somewhere closer to your goals. If you want to buy a house, maybe we need to pump the overtime. Or if I want to buy a house, I close one sales deal that's worth $500,000. I spend a year trying to close one deal. Or I spend a year working 60 hours a week of overtime and all of that stuff, okay? Or a couple years doing that, okay? So those are two things. Both are going to get us closer. They're at least going to get us closer, okay? We can We can figure out and change the path as we go, but all we need to do is get started and get going, okay? Have a wonderful day, guys. I believe in you. I made this video. I sold 20 minutes of my life making this video so that you guys would have some information that could help you, okay? And that's that I plant some seeds inside of your mind so that you can go out and get closer to your dreams and goals. If you like this video, share it with a friend. If you found that you learned something specific or had any questions, slap it in the comments. Hit that like button and have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.